Hey everybody, welcome into the Bubba's Buffet podcast episode Who Knows. I don't keep track of that stuff. What I do keep track of most of the time are my thoughts and all the things that go on inside that head. So today we're going to be discussing a new Jason Statham film that got its new trailer today that comes out in August, which is a perfect time for a Statham blended drink of cinema goodness. And then to talk about the Cardinals and how they're kind of surprising the major leagues and surprising Cardinals fans and really surprising everybody, probably even their moms. And then we'll also get into maybe a little bit of the Pitt. I have about 10 minutes or less to do this pod. I like that. It's like a hot box. You get in there and you see what you can get discussed. So number one, 2026 will get not one but two Jason Statham delights. First came Shelter, which I liked, was a rock solid action film, came out in January, and then now 8 months later, good old Mutiny is the next Statham adventure, directed by Jean-Francois Rochette, who did the Gerard Butler movie Plane, and he also did Assault on Precinct 13, the Ethan Hawke version, back in 2005. Those are the two movies that he's kind of most known for. Plane was pretty good. Plane had Mike Coulter, aka Luke Cage, from the Marvel Netflix series, playing a prisoner that is on the plane being flown by Butler that crashes, and then they have to go up against bad guys and then worse guys, and of course the convict that Mike Coulter is. And so that was a pretty good diabolical action film. So I have high hopes. You get a good action star like Statham, and then you get a good action director like Rochette, and you never know what can happen. So good things are promised for that. And yeah, it's not a much different role than what Statham has played, and it's absolutely fine, because it's just, what do you want this guy to do? He's playing a guy who gets framed for murder, who finds himself on a ship with a bunch of humans being trafficked, and he finds them and he tries to free them, and it's him against the bad guys. So human trafficking being a real thing in the world. Imagine if you had Statham on there. Imagine if the ship was going one way and here comes Jason Statham. Nobody gets trafficked except for traffic cones. My name's Jason Statham, and it's gonna be a mutiny. It's just like the one-word titles with his movies: Shelter, The Transporter, Mutiny, Beekeeper, Working Man, Hamburger Flipper. I'm just kidding. All he wanted to do was flip pancakes at the diner for the rest of his life, but then the four thugs came into Denny's and fucked with him. Anything can work with that, and that's why he's great at what he does, is because you can just go, there's wrong, there's bad guys, and then there's Jason. And he's just going to be like, I'm going to kick all your asses right now and look good doing it. That's what he's going to do. But that comes out August 21st. The trailer is online. The good thing about Mr. Statham is that he posts the trailer on his Facebook page. He's very good about that. Do I know how much of that is actually him? Who knows? Can you just see him going, what do you mean the link? What? No, I posted already. I can just see him getting frustrated and breaking the phone in half and throwing it. But I can also see him being pretty social media savvy. And if you're a movie star, it only helps your career, because that's where you're gonna get a lot of your fans from these days, is from social media. Like if you're an older action star, and hey, let's be honest, Jason Statham is an older action star, you need some young people to like you. You need young people to watch The Beekeeper. That's why it did really well, and that's why Jason Statham essentially owns January as far as releasing a movie in that month. So I'm excited about that. If him and Bernthal ever get in a movie together, my head might explode, be put back together by tape and glue. What else? The Cardinals, I didn't look up their record because I leave the coverage of this team day to day to experts and good people and writers like Bernie Miklasz and Derek Gould. Me, I kind of like to just drop in like Statham on a parachute onto a ship, and the ship being a Cardinals topic, I come in, I swoop in, I give my take, and then I swoop out. I jump on a pontoon boat and get out of there, because I don't cover the team anymore. And if you're going to cover the team, you got to cover them. It's not like, all right, here and there, whenever no, you got to really cover them. Like, so, but I do watch a little bit. With MLB at bat, you can watch the highlights of a game in like 3 minutes. And I mean scoring plays, and I mean, home runs, but also like highlight reel plays, not just a scoring play. So you can watch the whole game. I'm sorry, I'm lazy. I don't have a lot of time, so I gotta watch it. I gotta consume it how I consume it. But the Cardinals have had 5 comeback wins so far this season. This season so far is a lot of things that are happening that did not happen the last season or two. Like Jordan Walker, by my count, has either 5 or 6 home runs already. He had 2 at this time last year. I don't know what his total was for last year, but it was pretty bad. Like, he's on pace. He won't hit that, but he's on pace for 67 home runs. So why do you think that is? Why do you think that he's doing that? Well, it's pretty simple. He's had instructors handpicked by Chaim Bloom and Rob Cifarello and the scouting department. I mean, all those guys, even if Rob is more in charge of the scouts, they're all going to be in charge of what instructors are doing what. And so if you ask yourself, why did he do this for last season, the season before? Well, he didn't have these guys. And he didn't have this new regime. He didn't have 4 different voices in his head. He probably has one. And it's saying, stop chasing that slider away, you idiot. No, I'm just kidding. But he's making big strides. He's hitting for power. The tools have always been there. The execution has not been there. Now Jordan Walker's doing it. Less Johnny Walker required to watch Jordan Walker these days, and that's a good thing for alcoholics. But another thing that's happening is that the Cardinals are coming back. They didn't have a lot of comeback wins last year. When they were down, it was pretty much, all right, close up the shop, turn off the lights, we're done, we'll play tomorrow. But now when the Cardinals were down 7-1 on opening day, they won 9-7. When they were down by a few runs the next day, they came back and they won. And the next couple of days against the Mets, they came back again. And so this team sees a deficit and they don't see the end. They see just kind of a grudge that needs to be removed or shrugged or pushed. And so they're basically fighting back. And they're very fun to watch. But read up Bernie Miklasz at STL Sports Central, because he is the guy that I listen to every day. You got to have somebody that can keep you filled in and give you some opinion and give you the facts and give you the stats, and he does it. I'm enjoying the Pitt, as it has 2 episodes left. Second to last one tonight, and then next week has the last one. And let me tell you, folks, the big thing is Noah Wiley, as I check the time, because the plumbing doesn't pick itself. Noah Wiley's character, Dr. Rabinovich, more known as Dr. Robbie, he's taking this sabbatical at the end of the season where he's going to take this motorcycle ride. And all signs point to something very bad happening on that motorcycle ride. And I will continue to say that it would be crazy for them to write off Noah Wiley, the guy who has won an Emmy or 2, and the show racked up all the Emmy awards. It'd be crazy for them to take out their star after 2 seasons. But man, Game of Thrones did it all the time. They knocked off stars. So definitely something happening there. The great thing about the Pitt is that it is 1 season or 1 shift of a hospital, and that's the whole season. It doesn't take place over weeks. It takes place over a day, 12 to 15 hours, the shift, and then the following 3 hours for the night shift to come in. But doesn't have the romantic bullshit of Grey's Anatomy. It is hardcore hospital running, stress, all that in a bag of cakes. So that's worth watching on TV. The Statham film trailer, Mutiny, is worth watching online. And the Cardinals are actually, against everybody's holy crap, really, they're worth watching too. You never know. As Joaquin Andujar, the old Cardinals pitcher, said as the media asked him, he said, always, you never know. And that's a motto for life, and it's a motto for sports. Now the idea is to get back in there and finish this work day and have a good night tonight. Everybody be good, be safe, just don't hit anybody.